If you've ever built a Finch Aviary or even a simple flight cage, you've probably asked the same question every bird keeper eventually does. Which finches can actually live together peacefully? Because on paper, most finches look small, colorful, and harmless. But in reality, mixing the wrong species can lead to stress, constant fighting, destroyed nests, or even dead birds. Today, we're going to break down exactly which finch species are peaceful, which ones become aggressive, and which birds should never share an aviary. This guide is based on real avicultural experience, not just species descriptions, because behavior completely changes once the breeding season begins. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build a balanced mixed aviary that actually works long term. One of the biggest misconceptions in finch keeping is that small birds equal peaceful birds. That's simply not true. Finches are territorial by nature. In the wild, many species spread across large grasslands or dense vegetations. When we place multiple species together in a confined space, we're forcing them to share food, nesting areas, and territory. Problems usually don't appear immediately. Birds may coexist peacefully for weeks until hormones kick in. Once breeding behavior starts, personalities change fast. Males begin defending space, nesting sites become valuable real estate, even normally calm species may start chasing or harassing weaker birds. That's why successful mixed aviaries aren't random collections, they're carefully balanced communities. Before we continue with today's video, I want to share with you guys a very special giveaway that I'm doing for the month of March. If you've ever wanted to add something truly special to your aviary, this is your chance. During the entire month of March, every single dollar you spend at Paradise Aviary Exotics earns you one entry to win a beautiful pair of Cuban melodious finches. These birds are known for their incredible song, vibrant personalities, and they're one of the most unique finch species you can keep. And the best part, there's no limit to how many entries you can earn. Stock up on supplies, food, or anything your birds already need, and you're automatically entered. This is my way of giving back to the bird community that continues to support Paradise Aviary Exotics. The giveaway runs through March, and the winner will be announced right after the month ends, so every purchase counts. Head over to paradiseaviaryexotics.com, place your order, and start stacking up your entries today. Good luck, and I can't wait to see who takes home this amazing pair. Let's start with the best candidates, peaceful finches that typically thrive in mixed collections. These are species with low territorial instinct and high tolerance for flock living. At the top of our list is the orange-breasted waxbill, which is one of the classic peaceful species for mixed aviaries. These tiny finches are naturally shy and prefer to stay low in dense vegetation, which helps them avoid conflict with more active birds. Rather than competing for territory, they spend most of their time quietly foraging and moving as pairs or small groups. Because they rarely challenge other species, they mix exceptionally well with other waxbills, grassfinches, and soft-tempered estrildids. In a planted aviary, they almost create their own hidden world, making them ideal for community setups focused on harmony rather than dominance. Next on the list, we have the red-billed firefinch. Red-billed firefinches are gentle, understated birds that thrive in calm mixed collections. Their temperaments lean strongly towards avoidance, meaning they simply move away instead of engaging in disputes. They do especially well in aviaries with ground cover and multiple feeding areas, where they can forage comfortably without pressure from more energetic species. While males may show mild territorial behavior during the breeding season, aggression is rarely serious. Their relaxed nature and adaptability makes them reliable companions for waxbills, Gouldians, and other peaceful African species. Continuing our list, we have the lavender waxbill. Lavender waxbills are among the most delicate and peaceful finches kept in aviculture. They prefer quiet environments and tend to occupy the lower and middle levels of an aviary, minimizing interactions with dominant birds. Their calm disposition allows them to integrate smoothly into mixed colonies, especially when planted areas provide visual security. They rarely chase or compete aggressively, focusing instead on pair bonding and constant soft contact calls. Because of this gentle personality, they are often considered a cornerstone species for well-balanced community aviaries. Next are the greenback twinspots. Greenback twinspots are slightly more secretive but remain an excellent candidate for mixed aviaries when conditions are right. They prefer shaded areas and dense planting, where they can maintain small personal spaces without needing to defend territory aggressively. Unlike more dominant finches, twinspots rely on privacy rather than confrontation. When housed with calm species, they coexist peacefully and add natural behavior diversity to the aviary. Providing cover is key, as their confidence increases dramatically when they feel visually protected. Next on our list, we have the yellow-winged petilia. The yellow-winged petilia combines beauty with a surprisingly calm temperament. Although slightly more independent than waxbills, they typically avoid conflict and establish loose territories without aggressive enforcement. In spacious aviaries, they move quietly amongst other species, feeding and nesting without disrupting flock dynamics. Their peaceful interactions make them compatible with many African finches, especially when overcrowding is avoided. With adequate space and structure, they integrate smoothly into mixed environments. Owl finches are widely regarded as one of the safest species for mixed aviaries. Their personality is calm, predictable, and non-territorial, and they rarely interfere with other birds. Most of their time is spent feeding, resting beside their mate, or quietly exploring perches. They show little interest in dominance or competition, which allows them to coexist with a wide range of estrilid finches. Because of their stable temperament, many breeders use owl finches as a foundation species when building community aviaries. Next on the list, we have masked grassfinches. Masked grassfinches are social, easygoing birds that adapt well to group living. They're active without being aggressive, and their flock-oriented behavior helps them blend naturally into mixed collections. Rather than defending fixed territories, they move freely throughout the aviary, reducing tension between species. Their confident but peaceful nature allows them to coexist with both waxbills and larger grassfinches, making them a versatile addition to community setups. Strawberry finches bring energy and color to a mixed aviary while generally maintaining peaceful interactions. Outside of breeding seasons, they are highly social and tolerant of neighboring species. During breeding condition, males may become slightly territorial, but aggression is usually limited to short chases rather than serious attacks. When space and nesting options are abundant, they coexist successfully with other calm finches, adding activity without destabilizing the flock. Next on the list, we have the Forbes parrotfinch. Forbes parrotfinches are active yet generally peaceful birds that integrate well into established communities. They spend much of their time moving through foliage and exploring rather than defending space. While they may show mild nesting sensitivity, they rarely initiate aggression when adequate room is available. Starfinches are lively yet cooperative birds that usually mix well in spacious aviaries. Their social nature encourages flock interaction, but they rarely escalate conflict. Males may display during breeding season, though aggression remains mild compared to more territorial species. With adequate perches and feeding spaces, starfinches coexist successfully with waxbills, Gouldians, and grassfinches, making them popular community birds. And last but not least, for our passive species, we have the red-cheeked cordon bleu. The red-cheeked cordon bleu is a highly social and visually active species that mixes exceptionally well in peaceful aviaries. These birds spend much of their time flying short distances and interacting calmly with flock mates rather than defending territory. Their temperament is curious but rarely aggressive, making them excellent companions for waxbills, Gouldians, and grassfinches. During the breeding season, they may defend a small nesting area, but conflicts are usually brief and non-serious. Their constant movement and gentle behavior adds life and color without disrupting the balance of a mixed collection. Moving on with our list, we're going to enter the area of what I would consider pushy species. These are species that tend to be a little bit more dominant within the aviary. They're not going to hurt the other smaller passive species, but they are species that you have to keep an eye out on because they can become pushy or a bit aggressive, especially during the breeding season. Now, first on our list are the Cuban melodious finches. And contrary to popular belief, the Cuban melodious finches sit right on the line between peaceful and pushy, depending on the space and breeding conditions. While generally calm in large aviaries, they are confident birds that won't easily back down from competition. And during the breeding season, the males may begin defending feeding areas or preferred perches, occasionally chasing smaller or more timid finches. The behavior is usually more intimidation than true aggression. But in smaller enclosures, it can create stress for quieter species, especially those that show any form of yellow coloration around the face. They work best in spacious mixed aviaries alongside similar confident birds rather than delicate waxbills. The next species are the red-throated parrotfinches, and these are active, intelligent, and noticeably more assertive than many estrilid finches. These birds are constantly moving and investigating their surroundings, which can lead to conflict around nesting sites or food stations. During breeding condition, pairs may defend a chosen area aggressively against nearby birds, especially smaller species. While they can live in mixed aviaries, success depends heavily on space, dense planting, and multiple feeding zones. They mix best with equally active species rather than shy or slow-moving finches. The blue-faced parrotfinch is another one on our list, and these are beautiful but often underestimated in terms of temperament. Their high energy and strong pair bonding can turn into territorial behavior once nesting begins. Males may chase neighboring birds repeatedly, particularly around favored perches or nesting locations. Outside the breeding season, they coexist reasonably well, but their confidence means they often dominate quieter species. In mixed aviaries, they require room to disperse tension and plenty of visual barriers. When properly managed, they can coexist successfully. Next on our list are the diamond firetails, and these are frequently described as peaceful, yet experienced aviculturists know they can become surprisingly territorial. These Australian finches form strong pair bonds and defend nesting areas with persistence rather than speed. Instead of brief chases, they may repeatedly pressure nearby birds until territory is respected. In large planted aviaries, this behavior is manageable, but in confined spaces, they may bully softer species. They are best housed with other Australian grassfinches of similar confidence level rather than delicate waxbills. And last but not least, for our semi-aggressive or pushy species list, we have the village indigo bird. And the village indigo bird introduces a different type of challenge in mixed collections. While they are not constantly aggressive, the males do become highly territorial and competitive during the breeding season. Their strong courtship display and dominance behavior can disrupt calmer aviary dynamics, particularly around feeding and singing perches. Because the indigo birds are brood parasites in nature, their instincts drive intense interactions with other species, which can create stress in smaller setups. They do best in spacious aviaries with robust companions and careful observation during the breeding season. Now, to end this video, I'm going to mention a few of the species that are considered aggressive and should be housed alone, like for example the Peter twinspots, the Dybowski twinspots, the saffrons, and the Melba finches. While these are all species that you could try to incorporate into an aviary, you will notice that after incorporating them, the balance of the aviary will be thrown off, especially during the breeding season. And while there may be some cases where these birds have been introduced and they do well in a mixed collection, you have to keep in mind that every single bird has a different temperament. So while some may be able to get this done and get along in a mixed community, you may have other birds that will not be able to do this because of their aggressive nature. Every single one of these birds is different, and you have to remember that it is all up to trial and error. You can try, but keep an eye out on them and make sure that you control any unwanted behavior by removing the birds that are causing the problems. finch compatibility isn't about labeling birds as good or bad, it's about respecting natural behavior. Some species thrive in peaceful communities while others require space and structure, and a few truly shine only when given their own territory. By matching temperaments to enclosure design, keepers can reduce stress, encourage natural breeding behavior, and create aviaries that are both beautiful and balanced. The key to a successful collection isn't just choosing the right birds, it's choosing the right combinations.